Morning. Trace, put your paddle in there. $7.9. All right. Nat, put your paddle in there.
He's weighing our paddle.
I want to weigh your paddle. I'm really just getting an idea of
Okay.
how much of a swing there is. You're a little over 8.
There you go.
Guys, put your paddle in here real quick. Yep.
He's weighing paddles. We're not weighing people. I'm okay with that.
No, we're good. Throw your paddle in there.
There'll be some choice words to talk to you about later.
Not really.
I'm not at a doctor's office here.
7.7.
I'm going to take my shoes off, my hat.
Where's the beat?
Strip. That's gonna have to happen.
Yeah.
7.8.
What are we supposed to be?
You know what? I'm really just getting getting info.
Oh shit!
So you're.
4.1.
Whoa. Lisa's bringing the thunder.
7.8.
Jerry Bennett told me this.
That's going to be heavy.
Did he? It's over there?
Jerry Bennett.
Get a little too much.
Jerry Bennett is one of our
8.7,
leaders of our
yeah.
pack from years ago.
8-7.
Yep.
We have leaders of the pack
8-7.
from.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a man's rifle right there. Yeah.
Whoa.
Same as mine. Mine
Man,
is heavier.
Is that the clinic? We're done now?
That's it. We're done. I do have a bunch. So, like, there's a bunch of paddles, and all of those they're now weighted, so you can see the different weights. To kind of get an idea if you want to add any.
Where's the heaviest
Anything.
one you got?
This one is 8.5. Yours is in that upper 8. This is the heaviest one I've got because most of the paddles that are coming in in that mid 7s range.
What are we supposed to be, or what's the negative? About tennis elbow kind of gun? Like the same thing as tennis?
It's like a belly button.
Like a belt.
Everybody's got one. We just don't know why.
I know mine.
You know why? Yeah.
My elbow, if you gave me one that was in the 7 range,
Yeah.
my elbow would hurt in,
Yeah, that's-
in 10 minutes.
It's interesting that it's like tennis. I mean, some people need a heavier paddle because of the way they grip and hold. Some people need a lighter paddle. I was surprised. I ran through every paddle and measured them, and they're all 7 to. I think the latest one's 7.2 to. There was none that were 8. That right out of the box.
Truly. Okay.
And I added. I'm at 8.5 with what I added to mine, and that seems to be comfortable for me.
I thought mine was 8.
Yours is just a touch over 8. Yeah. Yeah.
How about balance, Bill?
Balance is really set up to be where your power is. A lot of people that don't have a lot of power will put tape up at the top. They'll put. It actually gives you a little more head weight, so your swing speed comes through. Yeah. I put most of mine on the side and down here to spread out that sweet spot just a little bit. Ben Johns puts his at the bottom and one little piece at the top, but he runs a paddle. It's almost 9 ounces.
I know.
Because I don't have a life.
Which one gives you bigger dead spot where you put the weight? In the middle, right?
Yeah, on the outsides. The outsides open up that sweet spot a little bit. The sweet spot. All right, guess what we're going to work on today?
Don't tell me lots.
Yeah, we're going to work on lobs.
You don't need any
No.
more than that.
We're going to work on hitting the ball hard.
Baby!
one side's going to hit hard, and the other side's going to learn how to take that away. All right?
Decelerate.
Decelerate. Put it back in the kitchen. So,
That's the best thing. You just drop it and they go, what?
wait, what? Where's this coming from? This is coming from Amy saying the best thing is just drop it? Amy wants to hear.
That's right, Amy.
23.
So here's what we're going to do. We'll let Amy go. Amy, jump over there and feed me a couple of balls. I'll tell you what we're going to do. Amy.
Okay, do I like this paddle?
I don't know. Do you?
I don't know.
We're going to find out. So I want you to hit it hard,
Right out.
and the harder as you can.
It's the paddle. Oh my gosh. Let me do one more.
Was she warmed up?
No. Let me just get my paddle.
That's what it is. It's her paddle. It's Yola.
Marketing told the shelter. You know what they say.
There you go.
So the idea is, Therese, is not to back up. All right? If you get here and you're at the finish line, you don't want to back up. No matter how many times they hit it at you, you want to get in here. The biggest thing is getting that paddle parallel. I keep saying I'm going to bring that paddle that has a stick on it. Let me borrow your paddle. I have a paddle that, it's an old paddle, that I've got a stick and then a ball on the end of it. Because where your paddle's at, it's a huge difference. I mean, right here, no big deal. All right? That ball's going out. You know, and it's just a couple of degrees that starts to show where that ball's going. So being parallel to the net gives you the chance to put it where you want it. If you and not being ready, coming from here up, generally this is what you get. You get the paddle at that angle, and you get that pop up. So I want to work on paddle in here. The other thing we want to work on is absolutely softening your grip. Because if you're really tight, then that ball's bouncing off hard. If you can remember to soften that grip, you should be able to start to put it into the kitchen. And that's really the idea, is if they're hitting at you hard, you've got two places to go with the ball. You can go back to them to keep it back there, or you can drop it into the kitchen. Depending on, go ahead.
How far out do you think you should have your
I went to a clinic on Saturday to be able to start teaching people to get certified to teach. And I knew a couple of things, and it was surprising that I learned a bunch of stuff from this guy named Lamar Scott. All right, so have you guys heard green, red, yellow, green? All right, I have heard that. So that 3 zones of your body, knees to toes, is red. All right, so if it's in that area, you're not trying to put that ball away. If it's down here, you've got to put it back in play. You've got to dink it. You've got to be soft with it. Yellow, knees to hips, you got a choice to make. You may be able to take that ball and do something with it, or you may want to go ahead and just keep the dink rally going. Above the waist is green. If it's up here, you gotta smash it, or you gotta let it go. All right.
The ball's coming hard. You don't have time to think red, yellow, green.
Well,
Just react.
eventually, when you start thinking that, you're ahead of the game. And let me see your ball for a second. The other thing that happens, if I am playing here in my 3-foot zone, I don't have time to react. If I'm playing out there, we're coming off her paddle, I have a lot of time to react. You know, how many of you seen me? I mean, I see you wind up. I mean, I've seen him wind up. How many of you guys have seen me wind up? You know what's coming. When you're watching your opponent, you can start to decide what's going to happen. If that ball comes off her paddle and it's going to be a third shot drop and it looks like it's going to drop down there, okay, I know I'm going to, I'm down there in that red area. The other thing that happened that I had not thought of before is breaking the kitchen up into those 3 zones. All right? The first third, is red. All right? If it's going to drop in that first third, I'm not reaching out and trying to get to it because it's so close that I'm going to smack it into the net. The middle third is yellow. I've got to make a decision. If it's a higher, coming in at a higher bounce, I maybe I'll do something with it. If it's back here, it's green. And what we're talking about is the more you can take out of the air, the better, because it gives them less time to react picking that ball up. So the more you're out here over your toes, reaching to kick those balls out of the air, instead of that ball bouncing here and you having to step back, you're not going to win those firefights every time if you have to step back and give them another 2 or 3 feet. So today's either one, we're going to start with people back. Right? When they're back and they give you pace, you can do one of 2 things with it. You can keep them back, which is to me, is the first option. We want to keep them back there as long as possible because this is our finish line. We want to protect it. But when they start moving up, that's when we want to soften that paddle. When they're in that transition zone, so hit one to me from there pretty hard. Now, I do that a lot. Everybody does it a lot. Wasn't really ready for it. That was actually way down here. As soft as you can get your arm, the more you're out there, the more of a softening you can get. Remember the old egg catch? Bring it down. Bring that paddle back. Soften that hand up. So you don't want to lose your paddle. But if you're really, really hard, it's going to bounce off hard. If you give yourself a little play, it's going to soften it up. The ideal for today is to get them all as much back into the kitchen as possible. All right? Let's have you 2 jump out here. Steve, you guys start first. We're going to do like 10 balls apiece.
Can I ask one question?
Only 2.
So Natalie's just like driving a really hard shot.
Yeah.
I'm up here and I want to deflect.
Yep.
So somewhere along the line I was told to keep my hips square. What do you think of that?
I think that you should be square to the line as much as possible because everything we can do to keep parallel allows us to start the movement. So if we start here and we see it coming, we can make a little movement. Our body, for the paddle, that's a huge movement. I mean, just shifting your weight, adjust from in or out. So being square gives you a chance to hit the ball back. And until you can attack the ball, that's all you want to do. You want to get it back to where they can make the mistake. There's no reason, and again, if you do it, raise your hand. There's no reason to a lot of this up here, especially when they're down here. I mean, that's the one that I hit into the net and Steve hits into the net. We all hit into the net, and then when Steve winds up back there, this is a Therese move. And then the second ball, and then the third ball, and then all of a sudden I'm standing here on Saturday. I'm standing here, and the 4th ball, Wayne's back at the line back there already. All right, so I've got 2 choices. I start playing in front for him, and saying, "Wait, come on." And
Are you referencing Wayne when you played together that he backed up?
oh yeah, Wayne doesn't play it. Yeah, Wayne doesn't play the net. He doesn't play a backhand either. And he plays really well, but Wayne plays. He plays from here to here. I knew that, so it worked out really well for me because when the ball was coming to him, he was going to hit it hard up the middle. I jumped right here, and 42 times they bounced it up. I put it away, until the last game, it was 15-2, 15-4. They just had no idea that was a way to play the game. Until the 2 guys that beat us did know how to do that, and they did it much better than we did, and they were 28 years old. And so we had to then adjust our game to go to the soft game, and we almost got them. We did 10 unanswered points. and came back and ended up losing 15-13. It was a really good game. And the biggest thing that we ended up playing one more with them after the tournament was over. And it was like 11-9. I had more fun losing to them than I did beating the people that were really, they were there. Yeah. A little different level. There were two really young 16, 17-year-old kids that were tennis players, obviously, and they just got frustrated because they were standing at the back line hitting cross court after cross court and dink, bink, bink, bink. So have you guys back up. We are going to play skinnies. All right, so we're going to play skinny singles here. I want you guys you both get a ball. You're going to Natalie. You're going to Therese. I want you guys to start over here. Let me see your ball, Steve. So all you're going to do is softly feed them the ball. I want him to hit it hard. I wanted you over there for a reason, Steve. Yeah. All right. That's all I want you to do is just putting it back in play. The softer you can get it. All right. Right now, I don't want you to worry about putting a bunch of cut on it. I know that Mike can. I mean, you can put some cut on it right now. I just want you to work on getting your hands soft. So let's do about 10 on each side. I want you to stop. All right. Because if you run up to whack that, it's going to go out and she's still going to hit it and I'm going to holler at her. All right, so about 10 each, and then switch sides. You got one? Here you go. Okay. Nice and soft. Yeah. Feed it to her. All right, hang on. We're going to add something to this. We're going to keep score. All right? You get a point if you drop it back into the kitchen, right?
Okay.
You get a point if you get the ball over the net. Actually, if you get the ball over the net. So I want you to keep track of how many of these shots are not even getting there. Okay? Does that make sense? So we're going to do 10 hits. 10, I don't care how many bounces, but 10 hits on this side, 10 hits on that side. You keep track of how many you get back over here. You keep track of how many of these balls you actually get over the net. All right? If you're not getting 50% of these drives back over the net, you shouldn't be hitting them. Okay. He gets points if he gets it over. He got it over the net.
Thank you. No, I'm just giving it back to you when I do that. Oh, I'm sorry. Because you don't want me to hit it back, right?
Not the second time.
Right. So we each got 3 points. You start. You start. I thought I had 1. How'd you get? Well, it doesn't matter.
It's Drew Carey. The points don't matter. Is that 10? One more each.
Oh, here, give me a ball. You're gonna start. Here you go.
She's beating them either short or really deep.
Well, the last few.
All right.
What? They're deep.
Are you lefty?
Initially, yes, but
I'm just giving you the ball to start, okay?
All right.
Natalie, don't hit this back. I'm giving it to you to start.
Do me a favor. Just toss it to her. Just feed it to her with a toss. Okay. Okay. Yeah, switch out. Switch out. Yeah, just move just for a second. Yeah.
No, to wear them or not?
Well, not today. A lot. Is it? Feels like it is already, doesn't it?
Coming.
Exactly. Because you put it right back in its wheelhouse. Okay. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Wait. 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 No. Hang on. Hang on. Here's what we're going to do. All right. We're going to take the ball in our hand.
Yes.
We're going to back up. We're going to take the ball in our hand and we're going to toss it back there and then he's going to hit it hard.
Okay.
All right. Don't hit it. Just toss it to him. Feed it to him. Let him hit it.
Okay.
All right. All right. I'm going to stop both of you just for a second. Don't move. Don't move. Where are you standing?
Too far back.
Where are you standing? Keep going. Keep going.
That close.
Why not?
Because I'm going to step into the
No, you're not.
Okay.
No, you're not. Step up. Move up. All right. That's your line. That's the goal line. See how you kind of push that one?
Yeah, I did.
Don't push it. Just let it soften. As you get to the contact point, let it. You're hitting.
I know. I'm like,
Don't hit. Just let it soft. When it hits, let your arm come back a little bit. All right. There you go. That's it. He's not getting to that ball. Still a little push.
yeah, I can feel the push. No, that was a nice one. After we have a partner, I hope.
I wasn't trying to hit a winner.
No, that was beautiful.
Yep. You guys back up and you guys hit them hard to them now.
That's hard not to pop one up.
It's hard. Yeah, and in all honesty, you guys, because one of the things that happens, hang on just a second. Nice drops. One of the things that happens is because you're thinking about doing the drill is no one's let one go yet. Because your mindset is not let a ball go. All right? I mean, because we're doing the drill. But you do have to start thinking about the fact that, again, that red, yellow, green section, you know, if you get to the point where that ball is a drive and it's above your chest, there may be another red zone. mean, if I've got to lift my paddle up to here on a hard drive, more than 50% of them are.
So would you say even for practice to stay in the right mind?
Practice like you want to play.
Yeah.
And again, I'm keeping track of your points, and right now you're in third place. You're very close to being up in the top 2. All right. So think about that. Of when do I start to let that ball go? And I know I probably have done this 12 times with you guys. This ball right here can be in or out. All right. Once it's here, all right. Yeah, but Mike showed even this ball could be in or out. All right. It's not the fact that it's here that determines that. It's where it came from over here. All right. If Tina pops up here, Lisa pops up here, Lisa pops up here, Lisa pops up here. If she hits this ball, if she hits an overhead from right here, all right, and that ball's coming and hits him at his elbow height, that ball's probably going to be in. If she hits that, half volley from down here hard and it's coming up and it gets at his elbow height, it's probably going out. So the biggest thing I can tell you is when you start playing off the other person's paddle, starts to change your mindset of what I'm doing with that ball. Now, if I see him completely wind up from back here and that ball's coming up, now, and if it's above my belly button, I'm probably letting a couple of them go. In all honesty, I'm probably like the rest of you, and I'm going to go ahead and hit it because it's in my wheelhouse and I want to, get that smash. But I should let it go until he makes an adjustment to start dropping those balls in. And how many points is it going to take him to make that adjustment? I don't know. If I hit every one of them, I'll never know. So letting a couple of these balls go starts to change your mindset of where did it come off the paddle? Was it a winner? The idea is to win the point. Letting it go sometimes wins the points. All right, a couple more, and then we're going to change it up. Anybody not done this yet? Okay, go ahead.
Say one thing on the way over. Soften my grip. All right. Don't swing. Right.
Don't swing.
Yeah. I didn't throw it.
Ready? Here. All right. Hang on just a second. I want to do something just with him just for a second. You don't know what the score at what point she's got for it. I want to do something here. Jump in the middle just for a second. All right. Guys, I want you to watch what he does. All right. All right. I don't care how hard I hit that ball. See, he not only does he soften it up, but he actually puts a little bit of tilt on his paddle to put that spin on it, little drop. If I'm back there hitting that ball that hard and he does that, I'm not getting up there to that ball. It becomes frustrating. Every once in a while, blind squirrel. Yeah, now I've got to start changing my shot and get up here on him. And how many points does it take me to realize that he's going to drop every one of those in there? All right. Yeah. We would all hope that We stopped making those same unforced errors, but it's hard. All right, now we're going to add something to it. Let's everybody, but you guys come up to the here, come up to the here. All right. Now we're going to get into a little firefight at the kitchen. All right. It's the same thing. It's probably where I get most of my points. Is not the first one he hits hard, but immediately coming back into a position to get that next one. I mean, how many times you hit one, he hits it back, you hit it back, and then the next one's gone. You're like, what do I have to do to get it past that person? It's not because I'm quick from here to here. It's because I'm quick from here to here. So the less movement I have to make on that ball coming back quick, the better off I am. So getting back to a ready position after I hit this ball here, coming back to being ready for wherever it's going is a lot easier being centered from the beginning. So I just want to do some volleys back and forth. Don't start off killing each other. Just start off trying to go side to side, and how many you can keep going to each other.
This is supposed to be a firefight, right?
Supposed to be a little bit of a firefight. When Dave watches the video, he's going to see it. Here, this is Dave's ready position. I love you to death, Dave. This is a ready position. Boom. Boom. Yeah.
Get it going a second, Mike. Before you...
Okay, it's up. It's up, David. Keep it up.
Admit that.
Yeah, don't move back.
And the ball is down. Hey, good job.
There you go.
Bill,
Yes, ma'am.
sit back.
Thank you.
You need a hopper.
I have one right over there.
Thank you.
Oh, he's going for the kill shot over there.
Trying to do an awful lot with it.
There you go, Lisa.
Here you go. Here you go.
So when you're up here, you try to hit the ball hard back to him or not?
You ever firefighting?
Well, right now you are trying to get used to it. But what I would tell you to do once you get comfortable with it is that firefight is going to end up with not knowing where the ball's going. So if you can, like we were doing the shots back there, hit a couple to me. He's not. Hit it. If I can soften it up to get to where I'm going back at his feet, because the more I'm into that firefight. Sorry.
What did you do to him?
The more that you can. I'm trying not to hit his paddle.
Sorry, Mike.
All right. The ball that I shouldn't have hit, he hit a winner, but the ball I shouldn't have hit was that one. Yeah. All right. Probably. If it come off his paddle hard. All right, switch it up.
Everybody have one? Each one?
So you want to be in ready position, and I do we all have our tendencies. Your tendency is to come back down, and you've got really quick hands. But if you were here, there may be one or two more balls you get to that you can put exactly where you want it instead of having to come up every single time.
You don't really think of it. At least I don't, obviously.
Until you see yourself doing it. Mark, do me a favor. Slide over just a little bit. Stop just for a second. Was there a reason why you were clear back there?
Yeah, because she shot the ball clear over here. I had to come back to get it. It gone out of bounds.
All right. What after you hit it, where did you go?
I had to work my way back.
Okay. I saw you way over there again.
I'm working my way back.
Yes. I love you. Hang on. Hang on. You're lefty too. You want to do this,
Okay.
which is putting you in a position where your balls are going to go that direction. Bring the other foot up here and close that stance up
Yep.
to where you are parallel with this and not this. Because what happens is your next move when it comes on this side is naturally this.
That's why I keep going back.
And that's why you're going backwards, is because you're doing this. And you're not meaning to go backwards. It's just that because you're here, to go to there causes you to come back. And all of a sudden, I'm 3 feet back.
Hey,
Stay here, and if you have to, do this and this. Make that your basket. You play basketball. Make this your pivot foot.
okay.
So where this one's stuck. Because, this is your forehand for a lefty. Your backhand, you've got good reach over here. This foot never needs to come back, and that will pivot you back and forth to stay up here instead of here, and then you want to pivot. Stop. Look down. Remember the little wind up? You're old enough. Remember the little wind up toys that would move like this?
Oh, yeah.
It's just a little. It's just a little tiny movement.
Okay. Go ahead.
Stop. It's the first time I've realized why you're backing up, because you can handle the speed. I mean, there's no that foot is causing you to back up.
Oh, nice one.
One more point each. Look at your feet.
Dog collar.
All right.
I'm moving back.
Yep. And funny, it's starting. That's the first time I've noticed. It's starting on that side, and then you're constantly doing this. All right. I need my hard hitters. We're going to play a couple of points all the way out. We're going to play games to 5. So I want you two are my soft team over there. Amy and Steve are going to start over here. Regular game to 5. Mentally, we want to
Oh, my God.
start doing some drops into the kitchen. All right? You guys start serving. Playing a game to 5.
So Mike's hitting hard.
You can I want you to play your game however you want to play it. All right? This is my soft team normally, right? You guys are a little harder hitters.
Okay.
All right? Let's just see who wins the battles here. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to put Nat and Dave together with Lisa and Therese. We're playing a regular 5-point game. You play your normal game, because your normal game is to put the ball and reset. Let him do the work. And I want you guys to think about why each point got 1. Why did that point get 1?
Amy got a ball off.
Because
Someone did a drop shot.
she did a drop shot, and the next one came up. Right.
Instead of dropping it in.
Yeah.
Intimidated her with his good luck.
Yeah,
All right.
green.
All right.
Mike, stay tuned. Just stand on the side watching.
I think pickleball god spoke on that one.
If you don't get your serve in, you can't get a point.
Yeah.
But this is my other question, Bill.
Yes, ma'am.
Just going back to that first point. I got out of position. I did the best shot I could through the middle. And I'm wondering, should my partner follow more?
Well, if the fact that you got over here, if he came over, especially as a lefty, he may have put that other one away. All right. The best shot you could have done would have been to drop it into the kitchen. It's hard, especially because you're moving, you're running up here.
That's
And you,
right.
yeah.
That's right. So if my partner
If-
came over,
If you come over here and he puts that ball down the middle, you've got a better
we're
chance.
going to take the middle
You,
away.
as partners, we want to find a distance that works. All right. And righty lefty, stand out there. I mean, if there's a big hole that they're going to take advantage of, if you come in to where you're about here from her, always, yes, sometimes they're going to go behind you. But again, if you, at that ball, you maybe want to be here. All right.
And then you take the middle away. Good point.
Okay.
A lot of people really do stand quite a bit.
Yeah.
Different choices. depending
All
on
right.
the player.
What's our score? All right.
How'd you guys get two serves? Beginning of the game.
They serve first.
Oh, they did. Four.
Get on the line. Both of you weren't on the line.
Late. Late.
All right. Switch it out.
Me and Therese, you said?
Yep.
Therese and I should say.
Well, you know, guys, that wasn't much of a match. That's okay.
Too many people watching.
Yeah, the pressure.
Okay, we're ready.
Coach, kind of coach, you know, too much thinking.
That's because I hit it too high.
Yeah. You know what you did with that ball?
Don't know mistakes.
You actually hit the ball instead of just softly resetting it back into the kitchen.
I can believe it because for the years I've known you, I just see why you're so far back.
I just have this thing to go back to the baseline. It's weird, isn't it?
Yep. And it was the first. I mean, I know that you do it, but the first time I really noticed that that's why you're doing it, and especially being on that left side, you're.
You're up there. You hit it. One guy's gonna slam at you.
Yep.
One or two things. You turn around, duck, okay? But sometimes I do, so I gotta kill it. Or you get it down here.
Yeah. A lot of down here. A lot of times on an overhead, I will actually rush the net, and that is counterintuitive to what most people say.
They look at you and it scares them.
Yeah, and because it does disrupt them because they expect you to back up, and I will sometimes go right at them, and so then they want to try to change that shot.
Because what I'll do sometimes when someone's rushing or something like that, I'll actually see him going and I take my eye off the ball.
Yep. Yep.
So if you're at the net, sitting over here, just get there like this. You know?
The number of times that people end up hitting my paddle by accident and it comes back over because I'm soft, you look like a superstar. You just happened to hit my paddle because I was in a ready position. Well, after I'm done with this clinic, I'll talk to you about that. Yeah.
I'm going to teach you.
Big on.
Yeah, I know. He did that the other day, and we spent 10 minutes trying to figure out whether these black lines that aren't going to move are within a quarter inch.
Oh, trees!
Oh my God. Trees, you're gonna be banned
So-
from this clinic.
So what happened?
It was a juicy ball.
And what did you try to do with it?
I tried to do my corner shot.
Why?
I don't think they could have got it.
Well, they didn't have to because you hit it out.
That's
If you'd have dropped it in the kitchen, what would have happened?
success.
Yep.
Okay, you're up, guys. Next group.
All right. So wait, we're gonna go to playing regular games now.
Okay.
The biggest thing I can tell you is everybody has a game that they're really comfortable with. You know, we if you watch him at that kitchen, he just devastates it. He drops it. You know, there's nothing wrong with hitting that hard ball, but you've got to be able to start resetting it and put it back in play. And the number of balls that end up causing you to lose a point because you tried to do something extra with the ball is huge. If you can get to the point where 80% of the time you're just putting it back in play, and then 100% winner is the winner shot you should be shooting. You know, that ball at Treese at the very last one, you know, you two were both back there. Ball sitting right here. She could have done two things. She could have hit that same exact hard ball right down the middle, and the chances of you getting it were probably less than 50%. She could have dropped it in the kitchen. That's 100% winner. But she went for the morale. All right. I'm going over here. You don't get any more points because the shot's pretty. You don't get any more points because you happen to hit the line. And we all do it. You know, we all want that really pretty hard smash overhead, or that, you know, but 90% of the time is just putting it back in play. You know, the other side's going to make a mistake. All right. You know, my big one is that ball that's right here. Poof. And for some reason, it hits here. You know, oh, it's so close. No, it wasn't. You know, 100 times out of 100, it's not, that's still a bad point. Putting it back into play gives him a chance to pop up and then put one away. So when you start thinking about just putting it back in play and not trying to do something with it, you know, you'll start to notice I'm starting to get that 1 or 2 more points a game. And everybody here is really close to the exact same level. 1 or 2 points a game. There's very seldom is there. When's the last time there was an 11-0 game in this group? It doesn't happen a lot. You know, you get on runs. You know, I'm up 6-0 and then I come back and it's 6-5 all of a sudden because you start making adjustments and getting the ball back in play. You know, a mistake leads to a mistake. You know, I don't get my serve in. I'm thinking about that one. The next ball I hit into the net, and all of a sudden I'm 3 balls down because of that. So start thinking about resetting and putting them in play and let the other people make the mistakes. Cool? All right. Boom, boom, boom. We have another net.
Yep.
We don't mind throwing these balls back in the hopper so we're not changing up with